Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Mukoli. Coming up on the program today, many fear dead following a fresh attack on Numan and Demsa local government areas of Adamawa State. Public schools pupils bear the brunt as teachers in Cross River State strike over pay. And in Delta State, a teenage boy is rescued from an uncle who is alleged to have been physically abusing him. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with another alleged herdsman attack that has left many people dead. Several people are feared dead following deadly attacks allegedly carried out by herdsmen on 5 communities in Numan and Demsa local government areas of Adamawa State and Low local government area of neighboring Taraba State. The attackers are said to have invaded the communities on bikes, shooting sporadically with what appears to be sophisticated weapons. The lawmaker representing Numan in the Adamawa State House of Assembly, Sodom Tayedi, confirmed the incident to Channels Television. He says the attack, which started at about 4 p.m. on Sunday and lasted through the night, caught many unawares, being a market day in one of the communities. Mr. Tayedi also adds that security personnel are yet to be deployed to the area. The Nigerian Army has handed over 183 repentant Boko Haram members for rehabilitation. They were received by the United Nations humanitarian system and the Borno state government, partnering to help them. The children, described by the Army as children, minors, associated with the armed group, are all underage, with their ages ranging from 7 to 18 years. The theater commander Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Rogers Nicholas, says some of them are fighters, while others worked as informants for the Boko Haram group. The 8 girls in their midst are also suicide bombers who are either arrested or surrendered voluntarily. They've been in administrative custody and will receive medical attention and psychological support before the process of reuniting them with their families and reintegrating them into society. The UN system welcomes the release of the children, pledging to provide opportunities for them to get improved livelihoods. The UN resident humanitarian coordinator, represented by Ibrahim Sese, received them on behalf of the UN, while the Borno State Commissioner of Women Affairs represented the state government. In the South-South, Delta State Wealth Creation has received a 500 million naira boost from conglomerates under the ownership of Mr. Tony Elumelu. During a visit to the state, the governor Ifeanyi Okowa, Mr. Elumelu, in company of some beneficiaries of the foundation, also commended the state's entrepreneurship programs. An excited Governor Okowa then invited other interested parties to contribute towards equipping Nigerian youth with skills that will enable them become self-sufficient.
Since its inception in 2015, the Delta State Job Creation Scheme has equipped unemployed youths with vocational skills, mindset, and resources to help them become not just self-employed, but employers of labor. So far, the scheme has attracted individuals and corporate partners like the World Bank, and now influential businessman and philanthropist Tony Elumelu joins the list. With him on this courtesy call to Governor Ifeanyi Okowa are young entrepreneurs, beneficiaries of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Incidentally, Delta State entrepreneurs are also seated, representing some of those who have benefited from the state's various empowerment schemes. They share their success stories.
I went a 3-month training at Songa Delta, where I was trained for fish farming. The grace of God, currently I'm a fish farmer.
The state governor then seizes the moment to make a request.
It's good when Delta begin to feel the effect of their successes back home, and
it's very good. It helps us to reduce the restiveness of our schools. It helps us to create employment. Also, when we are actually bringing out people who are actually creators of employment and not those who seek for employment.
There's no wasting time as the request is granted.
We will work with his office to put in place, in response to your call, a specific program targeted to support that.
With renewed hope, the entrepreneurs rise from this meeting as they anticipate the promised support.
Residents of communities around an NNPC substation in Niger State engulfed by fire are seeking compensation for their farmland that was burnt and water sources that have been polluted. The residents are also appealing to the concerned authorities to provide parks for tanker drivers to keep their vehicles in order to decongest the roadsides and ensure the safety of their lives. On Sunday, fire broke out around the NNPC substation in Dagwo Pago town after some persons attempted to scoop fuel that was leaking from a compromised pipeline. Officials of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense at the scene confirmed that 18 persons have been arrested in connection with that incident.
Charred cars, motorcycles and burnt oil drums. These are what's left to tell the story of the fire that erupted in Dagbo Pago communities of Niger State following an attempt by some persons to scoop fuel leaking from an NNPC substation located in the area. Their farmlands and water are not spared either. Some of the villagers who fled their homes to safer grounds are already counting their losses. They narrate their experience.
Something few hours, we now hear that the fuel is leaking and people are running to pack the fuels, and we told them that this is risky. So on that process, the fire now catch.
I was in the farm as at the time the incident occurred. The depot manager called me and urged me to warn my people against scooping fuel, but I couldn't do much despite my efforts. Now this is what it has resulted into.
In spite of the intensity of the fire, some of the residents were seen still evacuating jerry cans of fuel from the site. Those whose farmlands are affected are seeking for assistance.
We call on the federal and state governments to do something about the fire. It is not something the State Fire Service alone can handle. We also suggest that there should be parks in the area to tackle the menace of roadside parking by tanker drivers.
The State Emergency Management Agency cannot verify the extent of damage. However, some of the alleged perpetrators have been arrested.
From what we gathered from the official of the NNPC, it's a tank collapse that run beyond their control, and their dump ground get filled up, and it started gushing out. And unfortunately for us, from where the fire started is a result of scoping by the villagers, and that is what led to this situation. So many people have been arrested trying to scoop by the Nigerian police and the civil defense. So that is just a problem we are having. People don't heed to the warning.
The fire may have been put out, but many doubts still linger in the minds of the people who believe that unless something is done to clean the communities of the fuel spill, chances are that more fires could be ignited.
Coming up on news across Nigeria, in Cross River State, teachers are on strike. The pupils bear the brunt. Stay with us.